So today we're going to talk about something that most independent artists eventually realize, but few people talk about honestly. Streams don't pay artists enough to build a real career. Like now, before anyone misunderstands what I'm saying, streaming platforms like Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, YouTube, they're incredible tools for discovery. Like they help new listeners find your music. They help you, spread your songs. They help you reach people all over the world. But there's a huge misconception in the music industry. Like many artists believe that if they just get enough streams, everything's going to work out financially. And the reality is very different from that, right? So in this video, I want to break down why streams pay so little, why artists get stuck chasing numbers, and what independent musicians should be doing and actually focusing on if they want to build a sustainable music career. So let's start with a simple example. Your song gets 100,000 streams on Spotify, and for most independent artists, that sounds like a huge milestone. It feels like success, but financially, it often translates into a few $100s, right? So depending on the platform or your distribution deal, an artist might earn somewhere between $3 and $5 per thousand streams. That means 100,000 streams might generate around $300 to $500 before expenses. Now, think about how much work goes into getting those streams, right? So artists spend hours, recording songs, promoting that release, creating content for that release, and trying to get playlist placements for that release. Sometimes they even spend money on marketing campaigns just to push those numbers higher. And after all that work, the financial return is normally extremely small. So this is where many artists start to feel kind of frustrated because they see the numbers going up, but their income really doesn't change. So why do artists focus on streams so much? The answer is simple. Streams are visible. Like they're easy to measure. They give an artist a sense of validation. Like when a song hits 10,000 or 100,000 plays, it feels like progress. It feels like your audience is growing. But the real question is not how many people actually streamed your song once. The real question is how many people actually care about your music enough to support you. And there's a big difference between someone casually listening to a track on a playlist and someone who becomes a true fan of your work. Like listeners come and go. Fans stay. Fans follow your journey. Fans show up for every release. Fans go to your shows. Fans share your music. Fans buy your projects. You want to create fans, not casual listeners. So the distinction between listeners and fans is where everything changes for independent artists, right? So listeners are passive, right? They might hear your song once and never return, right? Fans are active supporters. They connect with your story, they connect with your personality, and they connect with your art. So if you build a system that turns passive listeners into fans, your music career becomes more stable. So instead of relying on random streams, you create a community of people who want to support what you're doing musically. And this is why so many successful indie artists focus on building direct relationships with their audience. Instead of like chasing streams alone, independent artists should focus on three things: building an audience, building a relationship with that audience, and creating opportunities for those fans to support the music. Like building an audience still happens through platforms on social media or streaming services. Those platforms help people discover you. But once someone discovers your music, the goal should be to bring them deeper into your world. And that means, creating ways for fans to connect with you directly. It could be email lists, text message lists, a fan community, Patreon, whatever you do. You just want to build a deeper connection with your fans. So this is where the fan to buyer system comes into play, right? The idea behind this system is super simple, right? So instead of treating your audience like passive listeners, you build a pathway that turns them into active supporters. So the process begins with discovery through content and discovery through you sharing your music, right? Then you capture the relationship by giving fans a reason to join your list or join your community. And after that, you build trust by sharing your journey and your creative process. And finally, you just create offers that allow fans to support your work directly. Like the result is a much stronger foundation for an independent artist's music career. Another important point is that you don't need millions of fans to make the system work, right? Even small fan bases can generate meaningful income if the relationship is strong. So let's imagine an artist has 1,000 followers, right? And if 10% of those followers become real fans, that's 100 people who become fans of your music, right? If 10% of those fans support your artist, support you financially, that's 10 buyers you got, right? Those 10 buyers might purchase music bundles, gear, exclusive content, limited releases. Like this approach shifts the focus away from chasing huge numbers toward building a loyal community that actually wants to support you. Now, the music industry has changed dramatically over the last 10 years, right? Technology has made it easier for artists to actually release music without even having a label, but it's also created a much more crowded environment when it comes to getting seen and heard with your music. So thousands of songs get released every single day. Standing out requires more than just uploading tracks and just posting your music out there. Artists who understand how to build relationship with their audience have a huge advantage. Like they don't rely solely on algorithms or solely on getting playlist placements. They have real supporters who actually care about the work that they're putting out. So if you're an artist that's independent and you feel stuck chasing streams and wondering why the money's not following the numbers, you're not alone. Like this is one of the most common frustrations in the modern music world because artists just don't know how to make the money. But the good news is there's another path. By focusing on building real fans and creating direct connections with your audience, you can create opportunities for people to actually support your music in meaningful ways, right? Like the shift in mindset can completely change the trajectory of your music career. And in the videos on this channel, I'm documenting exactly how independent artists can use systems like the fan to buyer approach to turn followers into supporters. So if you're serious about building a sustainable music career, this is something you need to understand and start applying to your own strategy. If you want to learn the exact system I use to turn followers into paying fans, you can download my free ebook, How Indie Artists Turn 1,000 Followers into Paying Fans. The link is in the description below. It walks you through the fan to buyer system step by step so you can start building your own fan monetization system today. That's about it. I will see you on the next video. It's your boy Kush. Peace.